all you're going to do is put me on drugs, on pills. And he says, well, Lance, we got to get control of it. You're at risk.
Lance, how did you find carnivore?
Okay, you asked, and I'm ready. I took notes because this story, it's got some left and rights, but here we go. Way back in the day, and I mean 2003, I was in a very bad accident, and I broke several bones, numerous bones. And then 2007, I discovered I hadn't broke enough bones, so I had another bad accident and broke what is now a grand total of 21 bones in my life so far. And I say so far because, well, I'm not the smartest human. I'll find the wrong way of doing something. So, in those years for me, I was also a guy that was very active, obviously. I was a guy that was always out doing something. I was the one that worked Monday through Friday to go do on the weekends, to go out. So I rode, and I know you're not from the States, from America, but in America, we have what's called full wheel motorcycles. They're called ATVs or all terrain vehicles. So those ATVs, well, I've owned 10 of them. Me and my sons, well, we all three grew up riding ATVs, or in America, we call them quads, with four wheels. So, anyways, those were my adrenaline. That was my outlet. So every weekend, if not every other, we were in the mountains riding ATVs, playing. And at the same time, I was always in the gym working out. I was always paying attention to what I was eating. I am one of those guys that grew up on protein powders and read every magazine with all the monsters that would get up on stage and the Mr. Olympia and the Arnold Schwarzeneggers and Lou Ferrigno's and all those guys. I am the guy that was following those people for years. And all my friends were gym rats. We got up at 4:30 in the morning and we went to the gym 5 days a week and we went to work. And like I said, we ate what we thought was a relatively healthy, we did, I believed, healthy diet menu. Well, I was wrong. All those years I didn't know. But through the years of working out and getting stronger and doing all that, I got to a point where the working out wasn't reaping the benefits because I was always sore. And I mean, something always hurt. Something was to move was always tight. And here I thought I was eating a really healthy menu, the diet. I thought I was doing myself a real good service by drinking the protein powders and eating what I thought back then was any meat I could get. And I did. I eat a lot of meat, a lot of eggs, but I ate a lot of everything else that went with it. And we all know, you eat a little bit of what's right. The rest of it just destroys that little bit that you ate. So you're wasting your time. As the years go, I got to a point where I just had enough pain, enough soreness that I just didn't want to work out. I didn't think it was worth it. So I stopped and let my joints heal. And I'm just going to take a couple months off, in 6 months or so, and I'm going to let my joints and everything heal up. And then I'm going to get right back to pounding that iron. Uh, Never did as serious as I used to, but life goes directions. So I was the guy that was eating 4 or 5 meals a day. I've been on every diet plan underneath the sun. I've done keto. I've done Atkins. I stumbled into vegan and couldn't get very far. It just wasn't me. Vegetarian, all the vegetables ended up tasting the same. I mean, it was the carrots tasted like the asparagus, and after a while, it was just, why? So, in these years, I get done. I'm done working out. So then I'm just eating what is a normal meal, average American, let's say American meal. Nothing specific, nothing special. So years go by. And through my life, I am also, and this is key, I am dog people. And I mean to the extreme. My dogs, they are every bit as my family, as my sons, as my mom, my sisters, and my dogs. They are my family. And I've had 21 dogs in my life so far. And 11 of those were giant breeds. And I mean St. Bernards and Newfies. and Saint Bernards, they are my breed. That is my pack. I understand the way they think, the way they act. So, anyways, I've had all these dogs, and through the years, and this ties into how I found keto. I'm getting there. All you people in the back row, you stay with us. I'm getting there. So, feeding my dogs what I thought was the proper dog diet came in this bag, well, bag, because 150, 170 pound dog, they're going to eat. So I would buy these $70, $80 bags of dog food and think I'm giving my animals the best nutrition I could, when the truth was I was feeding them high heat, high processed kibble crap. I mean, so after buying every dog food under the sun, trying to make them healthy, and they never really were, we started dealing with what is grand mal seizures. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen this, human or dog. If you've ever seen someone you love, be it dog, be it family, be it family, go through a grand mal seizure, their muscles flex on and off 100% to nothing, 100% to nothing. Their eyes roll back in their head, they go blind, their brain shuts off, and they go into these shakes. It's violent. And it can last minutes. And I've had a dog that went in and out of these grand mal seizures for over 2 hours. And finally, the universe was kind and gentle, kind enough that it finally took the dog's life. His heart couldn't handle it anymore, and it killed him. To watch that, it, it's painful, man. I mean, you can imagine your family going through this. So I started my research. I started looking. And then my wife, now ex-wife, she had her little dogs, and it was the same thing. Even the little tiny Cairn Terriers. We had Honey. She was 11 pounds. She went into seizures. That 11-pound dog ended up costing us $10,000. And the vets told us, well, we're not really sure why this is happening. But I was a good boy. I was a good dad because I gave my dog the expensive kibble. I gave my dog the vaccinations every 6 months, every time the vet told me to. I would get those shots. Well, truth be told, I come to find out in my research that it was those vaccinations and it was that food that caused my dog to have those grand mal seizures. I hate to say it, but it felt like when I learned that we did this by choice. And I'll show you who I'm talking about. This is my Dufalupus Tonka. That's my boy.
That's
So,
so cute.
thank you, sir. Thank you. he is he is very special to me. He is. So, give your dogs all the drugs because the drug dealer said so. Well, the truth is, and I'm going to go quick about this. If you do any research about vaccinations that we give dogs, if you do research on the kibble, you find out that vets don't know anything about food. They really don't. And then you find out that the people that they're getting the recommendations on how often to give your family these drugs comes from the drug manufacturer. So you're asking the Coke dealer how often you should be doing Coke. This is how stupid we are, Dave. This is humans, not. I'm just saying, this is how stupid we have gotten. We're asking the drug dealer to tell us how many drugs, how much we need. Oh, so started my research, and of course, I ask the universe, and the universe gives back, puts me in alignment. I am different. I'll warn you, but the universe puts me in alignment with my vibration. Then I find what is raw feeding. Here we go. Raw feeding, a carnivore. What kind of teeth does a dog have in his head? He's got those ones on the back, and what do? They pulverize and grind and they tear. And then he's got those big sharp teeth, look like vampire teeth, right? Those carnivores, canines. Well, those teeth pierce, they tear, they shred. Raw meat, not asparagus, not bananas, not. So I started when I got my next pair of St. Bernards, and I had Tonka and his brother to start with. This was my 10th and 11th giant breed dogs. I went right down the path and I started raw feeding my dogs. And we were 2 months on kibble, and then the rest of their lives on raw. And then I went to finding resources, and I finding more information. And the more you look, the more you're hunting information and food, the more people you run into, like me running into talking to you. I would talk to other dog owners that were feeding raw. And this is like 5 years ago, 5.5, 6 years ago. So started feeding, started seeing how it was helping the dogs. And then my boy also, who's no longer with us, but also had a heart condition we didn't know about. And he passed away at 3 years old. I can't say the vet told me that it was the food and the activity, the high activity that we gave him, always walking, that gave him the last year of his life where he probably wouldn't have had it because of his heart condition. So, anyways, also gets a cut on the inside of his paw. Take him to the vet, and it is bleeding. He was 190-pound dog, so he's big paws. He's bleeding. The vet puts stitches on the inside. Vet puts stitches on the outside. We get him fixed up. Okay, cool. Take him back 2 weeks later. That cut was a crease in his skin. That cut that had all those stitches had healed in 2 weeks. And I mean 14 days, had healed to the point the vet was looking at his paw, and then he looks at his other paw, and he looks at me, and he looks back at his paw, and he goes, "Wasn't this?" And I'm thinking, I got a drunk veterinarian. Doesn't remember, doesn't know. So then I look inside his paw, and yeah, it's just a crease going across his skin. And how crazy is that? And man, he's healing so fast. And look at my boy. So years go by. The next 5 years go by. I am raw feeding. I am making my dogs food. I'm being a good dad, taking care of my family. I'm giving them, they're happy, they're healthy, and they're strong. Nothing else matters. Nothing. So last year, September, I'm now 238, 240 pounds myself. And I'm 6 foot, almost, I'm 5'11 and whatever. So I'm 6 foot, 59 years old, 238, 240 pounds. And I say that because I stepped on the scale. Here's a little bit about me. I stepped on the scale and I saw 237, 238, and I stepped off. Nope, that was enough. Nope. If the number wasn't there, the number didn't happen, right? Well, you can lie to yourself all day long, Dave. You're still fat. You're still 240 pounds at 6 foot tall. You're fat. I don't have the muscle to be 240 pounds. I don't. Well, at the same time, all those bones I broke back in that day, remember? All those, one of those was my hip, my left hip. I broke that. I fractured my pelvis. So I broke myself in half. I broke this arm. You can see the scar a little bit. I broke this arm in 5 places in those two accidents. I broke this eye socket. There's titanium and screws underneath it. This cheekbone's titanium. My lower jaw, all titanium. Well, I tell you this because I was at a point in my life where I thought I was eating very healthy. I was cooking the vegetables. I was eating hamburgers and steak and chicken, a lot of chicken. Man, tell me, I was killing chickens every day. I ate eggs every other day. So I thought I was doing me right. And I got to a point, I'm now at this point living alone. My wife had moved out. We were separated, now getting divorced. So it's me and the dogs. And I'm going to turn 60 in December. And I'm thinking, you know what? You ain't getting any better. You ain't getting any stronger. You don't feel like you want to live another 30, 40 years, do you? So I'm going to go to the orthopedic surgeon and I'm going to see what it's going to take to fix me. And I'm going to do this today. I'm going to take care of myself. So I did. The surgeon that fixed my arm 3 times, he's got a partner who does hips and knees. So I go see Dr. Huang. Great man, great man. And I'm talking to the doc in his office, and he's obviously, he's standing right in front of me. And behind him is a picture of somebody that's like his brother. because it looks a lot like him, but he's round. He's heavier. His neck is much thicker. And I keep looking at the doc and I keep looking at the picture, and the doctor smiles at me and he says, "You see that picture?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, that was me a year ago." Wow, you look much better. You look great. And he's like, "Thank you." And he starts talking about, I am a great candidate. And in fact, Doc said, this is not something to brag about. Doctor says, "You're a great candidate for a total hip replacement." He says, I think we can get you on a path where 4 months later, we can then we can replace that left knee. And then 4 to 5 months after that, we'll replace that right knee. So now, September last year, I have literally scheduled what is total hip replacement and both knees. And this is how I'm going to make my life better. This is, I know, stupid. I know. So he says, you have to qualify for surgery. What, dude? I broke so many bones. I got this surgery thing. Ain't no thing. Old hat. He says, well, you're 59. You have to qualify. So I go find me a family practitioner doctor because I didn't see doctors back then. I didn't like them back then. I hate them even more today, except for Dr. Chris Jones. Love that man. He fixed my arm. He did me solid. So I go find a family practitioner doctor, and they hook me up to EKG. And sure enough, first thing, what do you think they said? Yeah, high blood pressure. Okay. What do you mean high? I mean, really? I don't think I'm that bad. I really don't. I mean, I might be a little heavy, but overall, I'm a pretty strong guy because I eat a lot of eggs and I do eat, all the other vegetables. And I'm taking all these supplements and I'm still drinking the protein powders. And I don't take Tylenol, aspirin, and all those drugs. I'm taking care of myself. I'm healthy. I mean, just look at me, 240 pounds. Just look at me. So she also says you have an erratic heartbeat. Well, that ain't right. I don't have no. She says, you got to see a cardiologist. She recommends a cardiologist. 2 weeks later, I walk in his office. I walk in. Sure enough, they hook up all the leads and they take my blood pressure. And they said, you don't have an erratic heartbeat, but you do have high blood pressure. And it's 161 over 112. Yeah. So now the guy that says, I'm healthy, I'm strong. This, you're wrong. You're wrong. Suddenly has that reality check. It says, you don't know. Well, you don't know if you don't know. Think about it. I didn't know. I felt healthy, but I didn't know. So, cardiologist says, I'm going to start you on 3 pills. Turns to get his prescription pad. He's just going to write me up on 3 drugs. And he stops and he looks at me and he goes, you know what? We might have to start a fourth. You're going to all you're going to do is put me on drugs, on pills. And he says, well, Lance, we got to get control of it. You're at risk. Okay. I admit that my blood pressure is a little bit high. Okay. Other things could be wrong. I'm at risk. But to start me with 4 pills, I said, so is your idea that now, mind you, I don't go to doctors unless it's broke or bleeding. I don't. I will do whatever I can to get through the flu, get through the cold, get through cold. I'll do whatever I can by myself. I don't need to pay somebody to give me drugs. But he says, you could die. Eh, okay. I mean, someday, sure. He says that take these, we're going to start you on these 4 pills. And I said, now hang on. You haven't mentioned lifestyle. You didn't mention diet. You didn't talk about making changes for the better. You didn't ask me what I am eating, and you didn't tell me what I should be eating. You didn't put me into an office or an appointment with a nutritionist. And I know that they're out there somewhere. Somewhere there's a nutritionist that could help me, possibly. No, you said here's 4 drugs. Well, Dave, I, I I had a reflex that I mean instantly got mad, and I mean mad. I stood up off of the table I'm sitting on. And I told the doctor, I said, the cardiologist, and then I looked at who I'm talking to. And I am talking to a very thin, pasty, looking rather nutritionist cardiologist. You're the guy that tells people how to take care of their heart. But when I look at you, I don't see the picture of health. I don't even see a guy that walks but from his car to the building. And you're going to tell me to take these 4 pills. So I stood up, fired the man. You're fired. Walked out of his office. As I walked out the door, I said, I might be back in 3 months. And my thought was, I'm going to do for me. I'm going to fix me. And in 3 months, I'm going to come back and tell you to shut up. I'm going to prove to you that you were wrong, that I can take care of myself, that I'm gonna. So I did. I went out the door and I started looking, and the universe took me where I needed to be. The long story short, I started reading about fasting. I started reading about changing your diet and a little bit of carnivore. And this was a lot of me a lot of time going to YouTube, going to the internet, going to Chat GTP, going to Bing, the AI search. And I would ask these vague, odd questions and just see where the internet took me with what should I be eating that's healthy? How should I be eating? I've been through, and then, well, that universe, it knows more than you think, and it knows more than me. My little brother, he's my best friend. His name's Steven. He works, I'm in Colorado Springs. He's down in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and he's bigger than me. He says he's been eating carnivore and you should look into it. And my brain went, you eat hamburgers every day? And he says, no, no, no. So he starts explaining to me about this red meat, this beef, eggs, and bacon, and this lifestyle. And there's these guys on YouTube he's been following. So then I check out those channels, and these are guys who are a bunch of gym rats that kind of give you the impression they're just taking hunks of cow raw and eating it out of it's kind of the impression you get from these guys. They were pretty hardcore, if you will. And I didn't really connect with them, but you find a little bit of information, stirs in the old head, and you continue searching. So I continued my search. And sure enough, the way things work, the company I work for, and I'm at 5 of those buildings, I am pretty much the boss. I'm senior facilities engineer. They hired new security for my main building. The young guard, she does fast, her family fast. And I start talking about these videos, and she starts talking about a little more information. And she starts giving me a lot more information, starts telling me how it helped her and how her family's doing this. And wow, cool. So I did. I did 3 days water fast. I got to clarify. I did a water fast. That's just water. And I do mean water. So for 3 days, I didn't eat. I drank water. The rest of the week through the weekend, I ate all my vegetables. I was a good boy. I did clear my plate, but I ate chicken. I ate vegetables. I still had sugar. I still had processed foods. I still, everything we think is a proper human diet, it's not. So the following Sunday night, I had my last meal at like 4 o'clock, my dinner at 4 o'clock. And then from there, I didn't eat through Wednesday night. And Wednesday night, I didn't feel that bad. I didn't feel that like I had to eat. I was hungry, hungry, but I can go further. So I did. I went through Thursday. Well, Thursday night was an eye opener. Now this is me. This is one left hand guy. This is just me. Thursday night, I laid in bed for about an hour and a half, and I know I'm not sleeping. And it kind of felt like that big cup of coffee you had at an hour before you went to bed. It's kicking in. That caffeine, it's working. What you ask for, you're getting. Caffeine. That's what it felt like. So I'm not sleepy, but I'm laying there and I'm comfortable. But so I got up. found myself downstairs, started working out. Now, it wasn't anything worth talking about, but I went downstairs and I started throwing some weight, started picking up the iron. Cool. I start work at 6 a.m. Okay. Get out the door, go to work, go have my day. It was one of the most productive days I've had in the last 20 years. And let's remember, I hadn't eaten since Sunday. It's now Thursday. All I've had is water, and I didn't sleep last night. And I am in the most energetic, enthusiastic, happy, taking whatever kind of drug mood that I've got going on. I mean, my coworkers thought I'd gone crazy because I was so energized. I'm not hyper. I mean, I'm 59, so I was energized. But it hit me, this fasting. So that weekend, same thing. All my vegetables, everything I'm supposed to eat, taking all my supplements, and I was taking a few back then. Let me trust me, I was taking a few supplements. This was first week 3 days, second week 4 days, second week 4 days, or third week 4 days. Sorry, fourth week. I'm getting my weeks confused. Fourth week was 5 days. So I did a month of weekdays fasting. Weekends ate whatever I wanted. Well, 25 pounds later, and I can feel the difference in my size. I can put on a shirt, I can put on my pants, and I can feel the difference that 25 pounds made. And it was like, wow. And all I did was stop eating what I thought was my natural diet, my healthy food, my vitamins. So then I really started pushing hard into the carnivore, and I did find your videos, and I find Dr. Shaw and everybody else. Cy West, Dr. Cy West, love that man, very intelligent man. So I said, okay. My little brother and I got on the phone, and he said, dude, if you're feeling that good, why would you stop? You know, I mean, it's like the lights came on. Okay. So I did. I decided right then I'm going to commit. I'm going to do this a month. I'm going to do this 2 months. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this carnivore thing until I feel like I don't need to do this anymore. And I've felt better and I've healed or I've helped myself get to this point. And then I'll go back to eating a healthy vegetables because they're good for you. I haven't gone back since, but I will say November last year to now, the difference I can feel in me to how I remember how I was a year ago this month, a year ago this month. Now, when this, Dave, so does everybody else, when we talk about how we felt, it's not like you can think about the pain and the pain comes back. You remember it. Oh, no, thankfully, it doesn't work. This doesn't work that way. But how I feel today, I can tell you, I'm not getting a hip replacement. I'm not getting my knees replaced. I'm not getting a little cage built in my spine to help my back stay straight. Nope, nope. I am going to eat more ribeyes. I am going to eat more eggs because I have found what I believe is Lance's proper human diet. And I say this not wanting to be the same guy that everybody else is talking about. That I I started eating meat and I lost 10,000 pounds and my skin turned this perfect tan color where I used to be purple or I was orange and now I'm this perfect tan. And all I did was I ate a spoonful of hamburger last night. And I'm not, it's not what I'm saying, folks. What I'm saying is that you start realizing and feeling these little victories. And Dave, you know what I mean. It's these small little victories. Because honestly, folks, let's be honest. Can we be honest? Okay, let's be honest. It's not the huge events in life that stand out in your mind that make you so happy and bring on that warmth and that love. Nope. It's that little thing you did all by yourself that you noticed in yourself that goes, huh. And here's one of them. Breaking all those bones, all those years, 9 of them were in my back. So I broke my back in 9 places. Well, when you do that, and your hip and your pelvis and your ankle and your ribs and your left arm and your eye, so you break all this, it affects you for the rest of your life. Believe me, eating the wrong food, thinking you're being healthy, it affects you tremendously. You don't know it, but it is affecting you. It's keeping you from enjoying your life as much as you could. It's keeping you from doing things that you should be, like playing with your kids, playing with your dogs, going for a bike, doing whatever activities. All these broken bones, they add up. So running for this guy was not an option. Since 2003, I could not run. I would feel my vertebrae compress and pound into each other every time I took a step. I'd feel my spine pound. Very quickly, that pounding of my spine would turn into a numbness from my hip down to my knees. That scared the crap out of me. I always got this feeling like I'm going to be paralyzed, or, I mean, worst case scenario. Now I'm one guy out there by himself, running 300-400 feet, freaking out, vertebrae slamming. So I didn't run. Well, last month I'm out with my dogs. And after you've had 21 dogs, your dogs don't wear a leash. You learn to control your animals. You communicate with your family. So I'm walking my dogs. My little 100-pound Maggie, she's Great Pyrenees and something else mixture. She's a sweet, sweet girl. But she sees a squirrel and she takes to running across the street. Dad instinctually runs right after his dog. And as I cross the street and I get my dog next to my side, I got her attention. I look back and I've got a 170-pound St. Bernard who's running with me. So now the three of us are running up the sidewalk on the other side of the street. And I started laughing as I was running. Now, when I say running, folks, it's not like a mad sprint, but it was more than a jog. I'm moving along. I'm physically running. And I realize it doesn't hurt. And I mean, nothing hurts. Nothing. Not my back, not my feet, not my knees, not my hip, nothing. So I run to the next intersection. Cars stop me, so I stop. I catch my breath. And then I started laughing because I realized I don't have the core strength to run very long because I haven't been running in the last 20 years. Right? Right. So your core strength needs to be up to carry. So, what? My back didn't hurt. Well, what changed? This is what changed. This is what changed. I don't eat this anymore. Chicken breast. I don't eat that anymore. That's dog food, by the way. I eat ribeyes. Now, a little bit, we're going to get back to that. And here's where I want to go on a different direction with you, Dave. So I'm feeling so good that when we walk in my neighborhood, I'm very fortunate. I'm a very fortunate man. 1 block over, there's a golf course. It's a very nice golf course. Now, I do, as I said, I live in Colorado, and the weather, it's turned a little bit chilly. It's the way we like it. Us Colorado natives like it. So today it's 34 degrees and a little breezy. So there's nobody playing golf. So where do you think me and the dogs go when we walk? Yes, we hit the golf course and we walk for between 3 and 5 miles. And I let my dogs run. It is awesome. I love it. So now the guy that's 59 last year scheduled hip replacement, scheduled knee replacement, both knees. Last year, the guy that was in so much pain, he started taking pain pills again. I started taking Tylenol. And trust me, that's not me. But I gave in. I gave in. So anyways, well, today I'm the guy that's up on the golf course and I'm the crazy old man that's chasing two dogs across the greens. Oh yeah, that's me. I'm the old man that's up there running with my dogs, and of course my dogs can outrun me. Not even trying on 2 legs, they can outrun me. So my dogs are running ahead. So I've got this drop dead gorgeous Saint Bernard running ahead of me. Maggie, she's so far you can't even see her anymore. She's very athletic. And I do over a 3.5, 4 mile path, if you will, almost golf course, 6 times. I ran, and I'm ballparking people. I ran 600 feet, maybe. And for a guy who hasn't run in 20 years, it wasn't the distance, it wasn't the speed, it wasn't. It was the fact that my bones are not clacking into each other. I am healing. Well,
So there's no numbness at all now.
gone. For the last, what, 4 times I've been on the golf course, the numbness, all of it was gone. I mean, literally, the only problem I had was getting enough oxygen in my lungs, not the muscles, not the bones. All of that was problem free. And I'm looking for it. I'm waiting for I'm waiting to call an ambulance to pick me up on the seventh hole, this green, but so things are improving at a rate. I'm having those little victories. You're here, and you're here, and then you're here, and then you're here, and it just keeps going. Carnivore. It was crazy. So I just decided when last year, no, this year, what was it? January, February? I went to my neighbor's house, two neighbors across the street, and I handed out what was 8 bags of groceries. And I emptied my kitchen. And I mean, everything but the salt and pepper shakers went out the door. My entire collection of very expensive Scotch whiskey out the door. My entire, what was it? 12 pack of the darkest black and tan stout beer I can find. I mean, it was black and tan. I wanted the bold, strong flavors. That's why I drink Scotch. Well, all of it went across the street. I gave it all away, and I came back home to an empty kitchen. Now, here's where we turn a little bit left, Dave. I want to help people in different ways other than I've healed, you can heal. We're all healing, we're healed. I want to do more than that because I think people need something to hold on to. And here's where I can help. I hope. I hope. Where you get your food is just as important as what kind of food. Now you're going to tell me that you can't afford to eat this. I only make 15, $20 an hour and I can't afford to eat this. All right, okay. All right. How much does it cost to eat every day? Do you eat once? Do you eat twice? Do you eat 3 times? Do you snack? Do you graze? What does it cost? And do you know? Dave, do you know? Have you ever done the math on what it costs to eat every day?
I do now, but I'm scared about what it used to cost.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Because I mean, look at what we used to, and everybody out there. Yep, even you in the back row hiding back there. I see you. Yeah, we all do this. We get up, go to the fridge, and go, or you have something left over from last night, and that goes to work with you. Or you don't take anything, and you go to work, and you go out and buy something. You hit a vending machine. Well, you didn't plan any of this. You just spent. And then you went to the restaurant, you went to the drive through and you spent. And then you went home and you ordered Grubhub to come drop off your French fries and your cheeseburgers or your whatever, your Taco Bell, whatever crap. Okay, cool. You didn't plan that. So how much does it cost every day? Well, I can tell you how much it cost me because I've done the math. I do buy my food in bulk. And here's where we make a little bit of a difference. You can go Costco, they're expensive, I think. You can go to Sam's Club, not so bad, but the quality's a little bit low. You can go to Walmart. I think that's a mistake. I think Walmart's gotten more expensive and the quality has dropped considerably. I don't like any of their food. But do you live in an area where there's restaurants? Everybody shake their head because you do. Where do those restaurants get their food? Well, from the big silver truck. Uh huh. Where does that semi get the food? From some restaurant food warehouse. Guess what? Almost every one of them sells to the public somewhere. So in my area, and I'm trying to encourage people to look, go out and look more than just Walmart, Safeway, King Soopers, Kroger's. There's more, and whatever's in Japan, I have no idea. But you go out and you find these restaurants, the restaurant supply companies. Well, in Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, New Mexico, there's a company called Shamrock Food Warehouse, and it is just a warehouse of food that they sell primarily, well, pretty much to restaurants. Well, they've got extra large eggs, $52 for 15 dozen. Okay. They've got bacon, $55 for 15 pounds. Okay. Angus, Angus, ribeye. It's addictive, let me tell you. That's $12 a pound. So this costs $12 today. And it's the only thing I'm going to eat is this. That's all. This is my only meal during the weekdays. And this is me. This is just one guy, my path, my decision. OMAD, one meal a day. OMAD. So, Dave, you know this. I choose. Now, on the weekends, I eat as much as I want of anything I choose. So, what do I eat? Well, I'll have 6 eggs in the breakfast for early breakfast. And I mean like 5 a.m. I'll have 6 eggs. I'll have 5, 6 strips of bacon. Sometime around 2 in the afternoon, I have my ribeye. Okay. And that's it. If I have anything else, well, then I have strips of bacon that I keep in the fridge. And if you folks don't, you need to fry up a whole pound of bacon from the pan to the plate. There is no paper towel in between. Pan, plate. That plate of hot bacon goes in the fridge. Give it 2, 3 hours, and then you snack on it. Little bites of bacon. And you got to burn it just a little bit. You got to burn it. So that's what I eat. So yeah, my weekends are a little bit more expensive, but and here's the other thing we're going to talk about. As weird as it kind of gets, Dave, I love myself now enough to do what I know is right for me. So yes, I have bacon, eggs, and steak 2, 3 times Saturday and Sunday. And then the weekdays, I'll have steak in the afternoon. I might Wednesday, maybe Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I might have 5, 6 eggs in the morning if I wake up a little early and I'm hungry. Now, I've heard other people tell me they don't get hungry when they're on carnivore. They eat enough red meat or whatever they're eating. They eat enough, they don't get hungry. I myself, what, 10, 11 months later, I still get hungry. I'm still that guy at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to eat something. I'm hungry. And I eat what I want every day. So you can. Now, you don't have to have ribeye. We can have hamburger and eggs. You can add a little bit of seasoning. I still think that, and this is, again, this is one guy's opinion. I still think that we don't have to be so strict with carnivore that we eat ribeye, bacon, eggs, butter. I think we can expand a little bit, and everybody's a little bit different, just a little bit. If you want to add some carbs because it helps you sleep, cool. My eldest son, he's carnivore. He saw the old man healing, and he would come. We'd see each other every 2, 3 months. And the last time he came down, I opened the door and I got the, you know, you okay, dude? What happened? I I've lost 45 pounds. The clothes that used to fit me really tight now hang on me. I can't wear the pants I used to wear because they were a 38. I now wear a 32, and some of those require a belt. I'm gonna be 60 in December. That's what happened to me. I
So,
found, go,
and what is your blood pressure now? Do you know?
yeah, 122 over 82 2 months ago. And I haven't taken it since because I don't care. I sincerely don't care. I feel that I have healed myself. No, sorry, correction. I am healing. I feel I am healing. I am not done. So I have not healed. I think, and this is one weird guy, talks a little fast. This is me. December 28th, I'm turning 60, and I'm going to start counting backwards. I am no longer counting the years ahead. I'm counting the years that I'm getting back because I'm telling you, people, I'm getting years back. I am healing at a rate that I am becoming younger with every word I slur, every mistake I eat, every egg I crack. I'm getting younger. And I want you to feel like I do. Now it's not a miracle overnight. It's not. It has taken me almost a year to get to this point. But it took me 59 years to get here. It's going to take a minute to fix it, to back up that clock, to rewind. So I'm going to stop counting my years forward and I'm going to start counting the years back. And I bet you I reach 40 before I reach 70. Think about it.
Yeah.
What if you felt 40 when you turned 70?
You know, that feeling of being able to run again
Yeah.
and be
Yeah.
able to move with flexibility again.
And I know how weak, how lame that sounds. Dave, look at me. I'm running. You're human, right? Mhm. Okay. But yes, I had healed to a point that my body worked like it's supposed to because it hadn't worked that way in 20 years. People, it mattered. It made the old man out there running with his dogs. I was crying.
I
I
I
admit it.
I understand that feeling as well of, okay, well, yeah, it feels nice, but the pain's gonna come back. I just
Yeah.
gotta do it a little bit more and the pain's gonna come back. Let's test it a bit more. It's gonna come back. And, oh, it doesn't. This is
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. And that's when the endorphins hit. I'm going to say because I'm out there on the golf course. I'm pointing at it through the window because you can see it. No, you can't. I know, but I'm running with my Saint Bernard next to me, and he's got this goofy grin on his face, like, "Look at Dad," because it's well, as far as we ran, it was the first time I've run with my puppy. Yeah, so it's the little victories, people. It's not the big ones. It's the little victories, and it's knowing what I've done so far has got me here. Well, here's the question, Dave. Here's where we're going to turn left, and this is going to get a little weird. And here's where I want to help those people that are watching this. I want to help you with your aha moment. Dave, how long are you going to live? Dave, what age are you going to die?
Um,
Hmm.
120.
Atta boy. Atta boy. At least you picked a number. Atta boy. But what if? And I mean, what if? What if you that are watching this, that you're thinking about it and you're kind of, this carnivore, it's a cult. Yes. Grand Poobah right here. Cult. Sign me up. We can have meetings in my basement. Come on over. We'll serve bacon. Yeah. And coffee. Oh, I drink coffee. So that's I don't want to say cheat, but for a guy who went from stouts and scotch, and I mean Lagavulin 16, all you scotch drinkers go, ooh, yeah, yeah. Coffee, mm, it does fill that gap very nicely. But I'm if you are going to live another 60 years, I mean, Dave, look at you, you're so young. You've got another, what, 60, 70 years before you hit 120. I'm 60 in December. I believe I can see 90. If I'm going to pick a number, I'm going to say somewhere in there because I still like to go fast. I'm going to say somewhere between 89 and 92, somewhere in there. I think I could live that long. So I got another 30, 32 years. Well, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel for the next 30 years, people? 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. How do you want to feel? Because at this moment, today, Dave and I having this conversation, you are now relevant that you made a decision. Here's the decision. How you want to feel, how healthy do you want to be is entirely up to you. And you can choose to ignore this old man, or you can choose to put some research into it and you can find your proper human diet. Be it carnivore, be it some form of carnivore, be it that you still eat, like my son, he still has a baked potato sometime around 9 o'clock. Will those carbs help him sleep? Attaboy, good, 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 great. Eat your taters every day. Don't care because 85% of what he does eat. So I know my son is healthy. I know my son is healing. And my son went from 155 to 180 on carnivore. He got fat? No, his muscles filled out. And that's another one we could talk about. But his son, my son, at what, 37 when he started carnivore, his muscles filled out because he was eating the proper nutrition. And it wasn't this protein that you see here. It's not. It's this white stuff. That's our energy. That's our fuel. That's our gasoline right there is that white stuff. That's what we look for, people. And we're going to talk about dairy cows too. But my son started eating the fat, started eating the protein, of course, and he filled out. His shirts fit him and his waist got slim, but yet his shoulders got broader. Oh, my son got healthier. Outstanding. That's a victory in my world. That's a field goal. That's a victory in my world. My son got healthier because he saw the old man eating carnivore. So without saying a word, he started eating carnivore on his own. And without saying a word, the man emptied his kitchen and bought eggs, bacon, ribeye. Outstanding. He figured out that he's not sleeping so good, so he added carbs because he was looking at videos that from you, videos from other people. Cool. Outstanding. So,
Sorry, just to interrupt. This is a cool advertisement for carnivore, actually, because
yeah,
it's the people that are older that are influencing the people that are younger with their health. That's a pretty good ad, right?
I hope because I think the young people today, and I know I'm going to get the hate mail on this one, I know, but a lot of the younger people that I work with, that I deal with, want the instant answer. Just give me the answer. Just tell me what to do. Just tell me what to say. Just give me the answer. Just two plus two is what? They just want the answer. And I get it. It's the short path to the end result. There's a lot more research to carnivore than you think. So that's why I'm saying you don't have to be so strict. But what if you're 20? What if you're 30? What if you're 40? And you're going to live to be another 70, 80 years, 50 years, however long. What if you can decide that from this day forward, because now that you're aware of it, you've had a thought, you are aware of making a decision. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to lose weight. All my bones are going to stop hurting. I'm going to eat a proper human diet. Okay, okay, stop right there. Don't listen to another word I say. Turn off the video. Cool. Go do your research. Start searching on the net. Ask Chat GTP, do whatever, but look for proper human diet. We're not looking for Debbie's diet. We're not looking for Lisa's vegetarian diet. We're not proper human diet. The universe will take you right back to carnivore every time. And when you realize or when you find out that enough information sells you that you're going to try this, okay, go buy 5 pounds of hamburger. Go buy 10 pounds of hamburger. It's cheap enough. Cook up a pound. Oh, I can't eat a pound. No. Okay. Take a chunk of hamburger, fry up 3 or 4 eggs, mix it together. You're done. That's all you need. Okay. Don't eat anything else. Don't, what we say, cheat. Don't open that Dr. Pepper. Don't open that Coke. Don't open that Pepsi. Don't do it because that's the crap that's killing you. You eliminate sugar alone out of your diet. That alone, over 2 weeks, would make such a difference in your life. You would feel the difference in 2 weeks. And by the way, people, that next 2 weeks I'm talking about, you're going to get up, you're going to go wherever you go, be it school, be it work, be it wherever. You're going to get hungry and you're going to eat. What you're going to eat is entirely up to you. Well, I could have Taco Bell, Wendy's, McDonald's, half a pound of hamburger and 5 eggs, and it only cost me $1.78. So you can save money. You can eat healthier. You will feel better. You're going to start eliminating all those ailments and those issues. And one example would be this was white last month and a half ago. This was white. This was salt and pepper. I haven't cut my hair because I'm enjoying the color. I know. I'm like 14 years old. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I got hair and it's brown. It's not white. I did this. Changing my diet. I did this. So it was, again, little victories. I lowered my blood pressure. I dropped 45 pounds. I'm buying new clothes because my clothes all in the closet are too big for me. The guy that wore 2XL is wearing medium today.
Given all this, what if you've got someone in front of you that's open to carnivore?
Mm-hmm.
They may be skeptical, but they're open to it, and they're open to giving it some time.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say would be the number one thing they should do to just guarantee their success?
Ask yourself if you love yourself enough to do what's best for number one, because nobody else will. Don't think about the food. Don't think about the diet. Don't think about how you're going to change everything. Ask yourself a question. Who loves you enough to change everything about yourself for the better because they love you so much? If it's not number one, we found the problem. If you do that, you will find your path. Yeah,
Mm,
I can tell you to go buy steak. I can tell you to buy all this food and just eat it and throw away everything. I can tell you what to do, but you won't until, like you
mm.
did, Dave, like I did, like my son did. I've decided I'm number one and I'm going to take care of number one. You do that, you're on the path to wherever it may take you. It may be carnivore, it may be keto. I would think carnivore, but I think you need to decide why. Well,
Mm.
I'm going to do it for me.
I think it's a good question because it forces you to take stock of, well, what have I done in the past, and
Where to
has it
get you?
really served me? Yeah.
No. Yeah, how you feel is your own fault. You too, Dave. You too, old man. How I feel is my own fault, is my own reasoning. How I feel today, my hyperness, that's new. My energy level, that's new. I'm excited because I know I'm on my path of healing.
Mm,
And every day I'm a little bit better. And I want everybody to heal because the food you're eating is not. So when you love yourself enough to do what's best for yourself, you will find your path. I believe I will see you at the front door of our cult. I will hold the door open for you and greet you with open arms. Welcome, welcome to the cult of carnivore.
nice. Lance, if people want to reach out to you, do you have social media or any way of getting in contact?
No, I don't. I do not. But I will say, if I can help somebody, I would love to. So I will give an email of Lance Payne, Payne, 73 at Gmail. If I can help you in any way, reach out. If it progresses from email to a phone call to whatever, I'm open. I'd love to help somebody. And single attractive woman. Yeah.
No worries. I'll include your email address in the show notes. Um, I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so
Oh,
much for sharing your experience with us, Lance.
I'm sorry that I ramble on and go so many directions, but I got so much I want to say that my brain and I got really excited when I got the invitation to do this. And I think people like yourself, you, you got to feel good about it because you're doing so much to help other people live a better life, to make better decisions, to be healthier. It's got to feel good for you, Dave. So thank you very much, brother. Thank you.